The tiny constellation of Reticulum has no ancient legends but hides the main secrets of modern sci-fi. Right here, near the star Zeta Reticuli, orbits the gloomy planetoid from the cult movie Alien. And the famous star map of alien abductees pointed to this exact same mysterious system. And the most frightening part is that this star duo is an almost exact copy of our Sun.
Let's begin our analysis today with a small, rather faint patch of the southern sky. Now, at first glance, the constellation Reticulum might not seem particularly remarkable, but it is so much more than a collection of stars. It's a fascinating story of science, of precision, and of the very strange ways our modern imagination can latch onto the cosmos. Today, we're going to explore its journey, from a simple scientific instrument to a true pillar of science fiction.
You see, most constellations get their names from ancient mythology. We're talking heroes, gods, mythical beasts. Reticulum, however, is named for what is essentially a piece of lab equipment. A reticle is that grid of crosshairs you see in a telescope's eyepiece, the very tool used for making precise measurements. So its very name is a statement. It's a monument to the age of Enlightenment, and its grand mission to impose rational order and mathematical precision on the vastness of space.
So here is our roadmap for this lecture. We'll begin with its location and its vital statistics in the astrometric profile. Then, we'll dive into the specific stars and galaxies that make it famous in our astrophysical analysis. From there, we'll explore its strange cultural history, and finally, we'll conclude with a practical observer's guide.
All right, let's commence with Section 1, the astrometric profile. Before we can discuss what's in Reticulum, we first need to understand where it is on the celestial sphere, how large it is, and, crucially, who can actually see it. Reticulum occupies just 113.9 square degrees of the sky. Now, to put that figure into perspective, out of all 88 official constellations, it ranks 82nd in size. It is, by any measure, tiny. But this small patch of celestial real estate is, as we are about to discover, conceptually massive. It truly punches far above its weight. And within those small boundaries, on a perfectly clear, dark night, you might be able to spot about 22 stars with the naked eye. Now, none of them are particularly brilliant, there are no showstoppers here, but what it lacks in brightness, it more than makes up for in its form. Its distinct slender diamond, or rhombus shape, makes it surprisingly easy to pick out from the more random star fields that surround it.
Well, the geometry of our planet dictates that Reticulum is very much a southern sky object. Its zone of full visibility covers nearly the entire southern hemisphere, all the way from the tropics of South America down to the icy plains of Antarctica. For observers situated there, it's a constant familiar fixture in the night sky.
But for those of us in a rather narrow band of the northern hemisphere, let's say the southern United States or the Mediterranean, Reticulum barely scrapes above the southern horizon. It's a challenging, fleeting target. This is one constellation that genuinely demands a trip south of the equator to be fully appreciated. And if you do decide to make that journey, the best time to look is during December and January. It's in these months, around midnight, that Reticulum reaches its culmination, that is, its highest point in the sky. This positioning is absolutely crucial, as it minimizes the distorting effects of Earth's atmosphere, giving you the clearest possible view.
So now that we have mapped its coordinates, let us move on to the main event, its astrophysical contents. We are about to examine the specific stars and galaxies within Reticulum that are directly responsible for its unlikely fame.
The star system at the very heart of our story is Zeta Reticuli, located a mere 39 light-years away. Now, 39 light-years might sound vast to us, but on a cosmic scale, that is right next door. This proximity makes the Zeta Reticuli system not just interesting, but fundamentally important for scientific study. And this table shows us exactly why. What we have here are near-perfect twins of our own Sun. Look at the spectral classes. Zeta 1 is a G35V, Zeta 2 is a G2V, and our Sun is also a G2V. They are all G-type main sequence stars, what we call yellow dwarfs. What's more, they belong to a co-moving group, which means they were likely born from the same stellar nursery and travel through space together. The only major difference is their age. At about 2 billion years old, they are cosmic adolescents compared to our own middle-aged Sun.
In stark contrast, the constellation's brightest star, Alpha Reticuli, is an entirely different beast altogether. It's a yellow giant, sitting about 162 light-years away, and it blazes with the light of 100 suns. This is the star that acts as a visual anchor, the lighthouse that you use to navigate your way to this otherwise faint patch of sky. Reticulum isn't just home to stars. It also contains some fascinating deep sky objects, like the galaxy NGC 1313. It's classified as an irregular barred spiral, which is a technical way of saying its structure is beautifully chaotic. More importantly, it's known as a starburst galaxy, which means it's experiencing intense, even violent episodes of star formation, the exact cause of which is still a hot topic of debate among astrophysicists.
Having completed our tour of the physics, we now pivot to the human dimension. How did this specific collection of celestial objects, this scientific curiosity, transform into such a powerful cultural icon? Let's trace its remarkable evolution. The history of Reticulum is really a story of rebranding. It first appeared on a star chart way back in 1621, simply named Rhombus by the cartographer Isaac Habrecht. But in 1756, the French astronomer Nicolas-Louis de Lacaille gave it its modern name, Reticulum Rhomboidalis. He wasn't honoring a myth, he was immortalizing a tool of science. He effectively turned a constellation into a monument to precision and the empirical method. And this brings us to the central, delicious irony of our story. How did a constellation, born from a rejection of mythology in favor of cold, hard science, become the source of two of the most potent, most influential myths of the 20th century? This slide lays out the stunning dichotomy. On one side, you have cosmic horror. The Alien film franchise places its terrifying planetoid, LV-426, in orbit around the very real star Zeta 2 Reticuli. On the other side, you have ufological drama. The famous abduction account of Betty and Barney Hill gave birth to the archetype of the gray alien, whose homeworld, as interpreted from a supposed star map they were shown, is that very same Zeta Reticuli system. Two powerful modern myths, one of terror, one of contact, both projected onto the exact same pair of sun-like stars. For our final section, let's bring all of this down to earth and turn our theory into practice. Here is a simple, practical guide on how you can find and observe these fascinating objects for yourself. The process is wonderfully straightforward. First, you locate the two brightest stars in that part of the southern sky, Canopus and Achernar. Reticulum lies in the dark space right between them. Once you spot its compact, diamond shape, point a simple pair of 10-power binoculars at Zeta Reticuli. You will see the single point of light magically resolve into two distinct, golden-hued stars. It's a genuinely beautiful sight and one of the best rewards accessible with very basic equipment. So in the end, Reticulum is far more than just a faint pattern of stars. It represents a journey from a simple geometric shape to a tool for measuring the cosmos, and finally, to a blank canvas for our modern imagination. It's a powerful reminder that the night sky is not just a physical space of coordinates and data, but is also a mirror, reflecting back our own deepest hopes and our deepest fears.
Thank you, friends. Strive for understanding and become wiser. See you soon.